Okay, we are recording. All right, the glue sticks, as I said, I've been reluctant because what happens is people do not put the cap completely on. Here's an example of one right here. You see, let's see if I can get it in the light. Can you see how it's not completely on here? So what you need, there's two things you need to do. Make sure that it's clean before you put on the plastic part. And you should hear the glue sticking out, so unstick out the glue by rolling it back. All right, then put the lid on, and then it's really hard to push it down. So what I say here, pushing it on a hard surface, that means take the glue stick, can't see it because of my hand, and just push it down really hard until you hear it snap. Okay? Glue sticks 101. If we want to continue to have glue sticks, we have to do that, because here's another one. Again, part of it is there's stuff on the edges, and that's probably because somebody put the glue up too high. That's what you guys aren't doing. Nobody's taught you how to use a glue stick. All right, the problem here is that the glue is sticking out. Before you put the lid on, and please pay attention, you have to put the glue back down inside the container. So twist this thing, glue goes back into the container, and the lid goes on, and then you push it on a hard surface and snap it. There should be no space between the lid. You can tell when they're not on. Now get the rest of them down. The rest of them look pretty good. So that's why for years I have not had glue sticks in the classroom. So if you want to continue to have these available, make sure you retract the glue. You understand what I mean? You know, you twist it to make the glue come up, twist it to make the glue go down, put the cap on, and then push it on a surface. Okay? Those are little things, but they make a big difference in the long run. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about today is we're going to do number 13, which is on hue. We already defined that yesterday, and the information is on page 138. And I'm going to make my chart here, putting the beginning of the chart in the middle. But of course, you can do it any way you want to. So go ahead and write down your first label is going to be hue. And the definition is just the colors that are in the spectrum. That's what a hue is. And in your book, I think it says the name of a color in the color spectrum. So there is that. Okay, everybody have it written down? You see? Okay, so now the color spectrum consists of how many hues? Does anybody know? 6. Okay, 6. If you say indigo, it's 7, but that's okay. That's for our purposes, we're going to say 6. And there are 3 colors that cannot be made by mixing any other colors. Does anyone know what those are called? Yes, Hannah.
The primary colors.
The primary colors. Okay, so this first one, we're going to put primary colors up here. And if you think about the primary grades, those are the first grades. So primary are the colors you cannot make by mixing. Usually you don't do a negative definition, but that's the best definition. So these are the ones that you make all the other colors with. And what are those primary colors? This is something you've probably already learned. How many of them are there? 3. Okay, so what are those 3 colors? Yes, Hannah got it. Red, yellow, and blue. You think, oh, we learned this in kindergarten. My experience is there's always somebody in the class that maybe they were sick that day or who knows what, or just have forgotten it. So we want to go back over that. Okay, so those are the first three colors in the of hues that we're going to be concerned with. All right, now the next, all the other colors you can get by mixing these primary colors. So what do you get when you mix two primary colors together? I heard secondary, that would be right. So we'll put secondary down here. And the definition is you mix two primaries. All right, so what are the possibilities? We have three possibilities for mixing. All right, if we mix red and yellow, what are we going to get? Yes. Red plus yellow equals orange. Yellow and blue, what do we get?
Green.
Yes, very good, green. And then red and blue. Mm-hmm. And what we're going to use the term violet. Some people are offended by the term purple. I know what you mean when you say purple. Violet is the scientific name because the color theory is a scientific kind of thing, and they use that when they talk about the colors in the spectrum. Roy G. Bibb that we talked about yesterday, that V at the end is violet. So we're gonna use the term violet. And notice I did not write out the names of the colors because they all begin with different letters. So that's all you need to do. All right, now there's 6 more colors, and how do we get those 6 colors? I'm going to jump ahead because the next thing you're going to do is a color wheel. So when you're making your color wheel, there's several ways to do it. But here's one way to kind of sort out what the colors are. You start with the triangle, and you put the primary colors on each corner. And then you're going to do another upside down triangle. And then you can mix your primaries. Red and blue, we already decided was violet. Blue and yellow was green. And yellow and red was orange. Okay, so now we could do more triangles, but I'm just going to put little lines out here for clarity. This is going to be the last group of colors, and there's a couple names you can use for them. I'm not sure what it says in your book. What are those called? Anybody? What does it say in the book? You don't have to copy this down yet. You can if you want to. What are they called? They call them the intermediate colors. If you look on page 138. Okay, and I call them the intermediary or intermediate. We could call them intermediate. Another thing they are also called are the tertiary. So that's a term you should know, even though it's not in our book. Okay, so primary is first, second, tertiary it means third. Okay, and how do you get those? Look in the middle of your book here, 138, right here. What do we have to mix? Look on your book. Tell your partner. And make sure you're awake. Mix a what and a what? Okay, I heard the answer. Thank you. Okay, mix a primary with a secondary. I'm going to run out of room, but it's in your book. Spell it correctly. So we got 6 possibilities here. Time for recess. Ha. Maybe I can get these both on here. Clever. All right, so if we mix red and orange, what do we get? Red and orange. I want to hear it. Tell your partner. Okay, I hope you said red, orange. You guys are very quiet today. So that equals red, orange. If we mix orange and yellow, tell your partner.
Yellow, orange. Which one?
And we do name it always with the primary first, so I hope you said yellow, orange, right? All right, and then if we mix yellow and green, what do we get? Tell your partner.
Yellow.
Or just tell yourself. Talk to yourself if you want to. I don't care. I just want you to say it so you'll remember it. Everybody talk to themselves today, okay? Green and blue. Hopefully what you said to yourself was green, blue, right?
Blue, green.
Yes, good. You're listening. I was trying to trick you. Blue, green, exactly. But you are just too smart. All right, blue and violet. Oh, I only did 5, didn't I? Okay, blue and violet is. And you said violet, blue, right? No, Ms. Malik, we said blue, violet, because blue is the primary. One more. Red and violet is red, violet. And I apologize if you already knew this, having to go through it again, but like I said, it is not something that I find everybody knows. So those are your notes for 13. You do not have to have the color wheel here. I was just using that as an illustration. Okay, I'm going to stop recording.